The battle for the NASA Rallycross Challenge Championship continues on as we end the International Cup. Alex Abeti, despite his mistake while leading last week, maintains a 15-point lead over Magnus and last week's winner Francois Martel after his third-place recovery. With the cramped street circuit nature of this circuit in Spain, calamity is around every corner, and we wonder, what will happen in Barcelona? We'll find out together tonight. The Spanish Grand Prix is next. Our venue for this evening is virtual Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. Opened in 1991, North American Simulated Auto Racing started visiting this circuit in 2021B. A nice 0.69 miles in length with 10 corners in total, 4 to the right and 6 to the left. We utilize the final sector of the Grand Prix circuit. The lap begins going in reverse of the Grand Prix track, flat out around Grand Prix turn 13, down to the tricky off-camber turn 12. Another tricky tight right-left-right chicane begins the first dirt section to another tricky spot. If you figured it out, that's the theme of this track. It is the hairpin. We transition back to the asphalt here. Yellow curb on the exit of turn 5 is track limits, and we blast up the Grand Prix track in the correct direction this time until a right-hand hairpin in the second dirt section. Over the jump, back out onto the asphalt to the Joker decision. Joker is slightly slower here in Barcelona, but you do get a much better top speed going into turns number 1 and 2. For the regular course, it's around the corner of turn 10, past the start-finish line, and that completes a lap, here in Spain. Our format for NASA Rallycross is as follows. 20 cars will be split into 4 heat races, 6 laps apiece, Joker lap once. The top 2 will transfer to the feature. Winner gets 3 bonus points, and the runner-up gets 2. The rest of our competitors will be funneled into 2 semifinal races, 5 laps apiece, Joker lap once. The winners will receive 1 bonus point and transfer to the feature. This sets the grid for the 10-car, 10-lap feature race where the points are awarded and trophies are handed out, and unique to NASA Rallycross, 2 Jokers are taken during the feature. Delayed slightly, but the 28th season of the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge continues tonight on the Automotive Sports Network. With Bryan, Sawyer in the production truck, 2-time series champion Cody Erdmann next to me in the commentary box, my name is Josh Mertz as we welcome you to the Spanish Grand Prix. Our series is brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problem is our solution. For more information, visit osscenter.com. Thank you so much to Rob Hartland for your continued support. And our coverage brought to you all season by NordVPN. For up to 63% off a 2-year plan, visit nordvpn.com/ASNTVUSA, and you'll love it. I've used it on all my devices, and I'm not saying that because they sponsor us. Our cameras for the entire season provided by TrackCams22.com, and our intro music was produced by our very own Alex Abeti. Cody, I thought I had a question written for you, and I'm so flustered because we are 20 minutes behind schedule. How are you, and what are you thinking? Looking through practice, Evan McFarland looking really good in the 04.
Yeah, glad to be back here. As we were celebrating 4th of July last week while you guys were playing off in hell, ironically. But so yeah, Evan super fast here. He was pretty much almost 7/10 up until Magnus jumped up to P2 here in warm up, and then Francois Martel is the first of the non-Subarus. So looking pretty sporty for the two, McFarland and Magnus. See if anyone's got anything for them.
As coming into tonight's race here in Spain, Alex Abeti leads the Drivers' Championship by 15 points over Magnus Okenhauk and Francois Martel. I'm coughing on a live call. Apologies there. Brian's hitting the wrong buttons. We're all so flustered this evening. Magnus and Martel, 15 points down from Abeti. Hartley and Ragster are a further 6 points down from them, so the top 5 are within race distance there. Angie, Clogg, Crosgrove, Grove, McFarland, the rest of the top 10. Sportsman Cup, Matt Grove leads by 8 points over Benjamin Gay. Matt Morris, Sowers, and Wetz rounding out the top 5. Teams Championship, Pudgy's Racing 122 points over Slapex Racing with 70, KES with 40, and JC Simsport after running one race in 4th with 39. Constructors Championship, Subaru 74 points, Ford with 70, and that's going to be a good battle all season long because with Francois running the Ford and basically everybody else running the Subaru, It's going to be interesting to see if the French Canadian can hold up the blue oval in that championship. Finishing up practice here, McFarlane 4/10 up on Magnus, who is 3/10 up on Martel. I don't want to be biased here, and you won a championship for MRT, now JC Simsport. So looking P2 and P4 for those two cars. But I don't know. I hate to speak ill about anybody else, but I don't know if anyone's going to have anything for Evan here.
No, Evan kind of showing that he's really got a hold of this track. Because he had nobody's even close to his lap time. Still 4/10 up on Magnus. 7/10 up on Francois, so we'll see. And normally, like, the track will speed up once it starts wearing in, as we're about done with the warm-up, and still nobody's laying down really fast lap times.
As we look at Matt Morris over the jump in the 24th for Squadra Stun Zed. So tricky to get that, really the whole track right, like we mentioned in the opener, especially in these supercars. I was on track just a couple minutes ago practicing with the guys, and compared to the lights cars, you'll see that race on Friday on ASN On Demand. These cars, very stop, start, and you feel like you're going so slow here in Barcelona. 5 minutes, 3 laps for qualifying, and if they have the process down, you'll run a fast lap using the Joker, a cooldown lap, and then one more fast lap. So we'll keep an eye on the field. Looking at McFarlane in the 04, as track limits were part of the discussion for the lights race yesterday and the race here this evening, as there is an exploit with the iRacing service where you can go backwards down the pit lane and speed your way through the corner. So let's keep an eye. Hopefully nobody decides to go completely off the road as McFarlane begins his lap. Not going to lie to you, taking a look at all the cars here, looks like everyone's being nice with the track limits. And something that we didn't mention, our very own Justin Robichaux making a one-off appearance in the 93. Great to have him back. You expecting anything from him? He's been out of the car for quite some time.
Yeah, I think with only having a 10-car feature, he'll definitely be one of those guys battling. If depending on what happens on the start of the start of his heat race, he could be in contention. If things go sour, he could definitely make it through. Otherwise,
looks like McFarlane got he didn't get a slowdown. He must have hit the wall, so his first lap is invalidated. Not to cut you off there, but remember, if you get a 0x, if you make any slight of contact, it invalidates your lap. So let's see when the first laps roll through. Crosgrove goes purple, 42.4. Abedi, 41.1 for the tie driver. He is at the top of the table as times begin to roll in, Cody.
Yeah, I was watching him. He just clipped that inside Armco barrier, so yeah, he must have gotten a 0.
Martel, fastest of all, 40.733 for the French Canadian. And now we'll see that little bit of the lull, almost like Formula One. You get one lap, a cooldown lap, and then a fast lap. So we'll see in this qualifying session. And if McFarlane's back on track, I'm taking a look off monitor. He is, as we catch him exiting the start line there. We'll have to take a look. According to iRacing, this is his second lap, so he should be coming to the white flag in the 04. Martel's coming to take his final lap. I'll keep an eye on him in the 12. Abedi is about halfway through his lap. Clog is about halfway through his lap. Cody Winecki sitting P4 in the 903. And a fun story about him, I didn't permit him to race 15 minutes ago. And then with all the session breaking that resulted in us being late, he's here and he's in 4th. Let's take a look. I'm looking off monitor at Abedi in the 99, completing his lap. The tie driver, will he go P1? 41.167. He does not. So Martel holds that spot in the 12 tentatively. I don't believe that McFarlane is improving. It didn't say any sector times on timing over the jump. Through the dirt for the final time for Evan McFarlane in the 04. Crosses the start-finish line. 40.945. Martel went faster, and I think he's on pole position in Spain here this evening. If he can get through Heat 1, of course, but that is not what I expected, Cody.
No, it was Matt Harley jumped up to P4 there. We got 3 cars in the 4s, and then another one with Steve Angie in the 5. So really, after you get to the past the top 3, the lap times are very tight. So that mid-race battle will be really entertaining.
Has 20 cars this evening. Martell trying to get some extra practice. Once we got Kirtley on his second lap, but I think everybody else, Crosgrove is done. I think Kirtley's the only car left, so we have about a minute left. He should get maybe his last couple laps in. We'll just have to wait and see. Kirtley way wide. He does hit the wall. That's going to invalidate that lap in the 024. A late addition to this field, and Evan McFarland says, good lap, I choked, LOL, to Francois Martel. So what could have been for that first qualifying lap? But that's the one thing that I hate to like about iRacing, is that I hate it when I'm in the car, because if you get a 0x, your lap is ruined. But as someone who watches these races, Cody, you have to be so perfect, and that's what's fascinating about these cars.
Yeah, with the competition being so high here, you have to have your qualifying lap like perfect and make sure you have a good grid spot. And that's like half. Honestly, I think qualifying is like 3/4 of the battle, because then it sets you up perfectly for an easy heat race and then a good starting spot for the feature. So if you can qualify well and throw down a good lap time, you'll be able to check out.
Still an opportunity to mess up through those heat races. Won't spoil anything, but you'll see it Friday. Grid for heat number 1. Francois Martel on pole position. Josh Klog, Justin Robichaux, Jess Rakowski, and Matt Morris. As just trying to find someone on track. There we are. So Martel, Klog, Robichaux, Rakowski, and Morris. So Slapex, Robichaux is registered as a Slapex car, but he is in a Subaru. And this will not count for their points, I should say, in the team's championship, because they're running Fords. So Justin basically running for himself. We're going to have 2 Fords and 3 Subarus in this race. Former Sportsman champion Robichaux and defending series champion Josh Klog in the 199. Heat 1 getting ready in Spain. Green flag off the line. Klog gets a bad start compared to Martel. 3 wide down to the first corner. Klog in the middle. Clears Rakowski, who hits the wall. Side by side with him and Robichaux, the former teammates, down to the dirt for the first time. No joker off the start. They have to complete that first lap. Morris into the wall in the 24, put him to 5th. So we'll see these guys run a full lap before we can joker here in Spain. And Martel already pulling away. 1.2 seconds, if that's correct on timing. And if I'm Robichaux, I really wouldn't pressure Klog. They're not teammate. Well, ignore that, because I just said that they weren't teammates, or that he doesn't have a team car. It's been a long day. Martel leads. Klog, Robichaux, Rakowski, Morris. Save me, Cody. I'm drowning. Words are hard.
No, it's all good. If I was Justin, I would probably do the opposite of whatever Klog does here, coming up to the Joker. Because with the Joker being longer, he'll give himself a gap there, and then he'll just be able, if he can just use him as the bait out there and just try to chase him down.
No joker for the top 3. Martel leads at the end of the first lap. Rakowski does not joker in the 999. Taking a look off monitor, will Morris joker? He does. So the only joker is the 24, Matthew Morris, the man from Illinois. Looked like Martel hit the tire barrier there, and I'll tell you what, you missed the apex of that second part of that chicane, you're going to be spit into that tires. It's so hard to get that corner right. Down to 3rd gear, rounding the dirt. Hit 4th gear right about the curb, feather the throttle over the jump, and pray that you aim the car correctly so you don't hit the tire barrier. Exiting the dirt. Klog jokers in the 199. Robichaux does not, so we'll see some strategy here. Where does Klog come out? He comes out behind Robichaux, but in front of Rakowski. Rakowski jokers. So Martel yet to joker in the 12, along with Robichaux. On board Klog in the 199, Cody.
Yeah, Justin ran a second slower than Martel there, so we'll see if he's able to keep Klog. But Klog has already almost caught him, so Klog kind of doing what I said that Justin should do, but kind of role reversal. So now whenever Justin jokers, it's going to be an easy pass on Klog.
We talk about track time, and we talked about how Justin has not been in the car for quite some time since his newborn baby girl. So Justin lacking the track time, and hate to say it, it's showing compared to Clog. Clog easily takes the transfer spot over Robichaux in the 93. As we take cross flags halfway home from Martel. He's already halfway done with the halfway lap in the 12. 5.5 seconds.
As Clog and Martel ran same lap times there, so Clog's got the pace. Just a little bit of a better start for the feature, and we may have a good battle there. As
you do win the heat races, you get the first 4 grid choices. It is a 2x2 staggered grid here, so you'll get the first row if you win the first 2 heat races, or the second row if you win the second pair of heat races. Beginning lap 5 for Martel, 42.3. Let's take a look at Clog, 42.4. Just for kicks, Robichaux 42.7 compared to Rakowski. She ran a 42.5 last lap. She runs a 43.5 this past lap. And Morris in the back of the field, a 43.2. Gap over 6 seconds now from Martel to Clog. Martel hasn't jokered yet, but the delta is a little bit not close to 6 seconds. Words are so hard for me. I apologize this evening.
As Martel takes a joker here, so we'll see what happens coming to the white flag.
No contest. No contest from Clog to Martel. 45.4 for his joker lap. 46.1 for Clog on his joker lap. That was 0.7 of a second is the difference. And Robichaux gonna get a good spot for the semifinal. He should get pole position for the semifinal that he's in, so super beneficial here in Barcelona. Francois Martel will round the dirt here for the final time, Cody, and it looks like he will take pole position here in Barcelona.
As Justin spun and parked it. So, looks like Rakowski's going to take over third.
Martel wins heat 1, transferring his Clog. And unless something goes wrong, Rakowski will take the pole position for the semifinal. And he, taking a look off monitor, Robichaux, that was weird. Confirmation of the results. Martel, Clog, Rakowski, Morris, Robichaux. Commentators curse already here in Barcelona as the grid for heat number 2. McFarlane, Ragster,
one joker out of us.
Peterson, Wetz, and Grove.
Thank you.
We should just not speak because clearly we're jinxing everybody.
Yeah. Is there a full moon out?
I have. I'm not too sure on the moon phases of the month. This is Martel's second consecutive pole position, as he did get that last week in Norway. Heat 2, getting ready in Spain. Green flag. What a start from Wetz compared to the Pudgy's Carl Ragster. Down to turn 1. Grove shoves his way through on Peterson, and Ragster can't make anything happen. Chris Wetz the second through the first corner. Into the dirt for the first time. Ragster behind Wetz. Grove gives him a nudge in the 91 and the 472. Contact nearly over the jump between Peterson and Ragster. Remember, no joker off the start. Ragster gives Wetz a nudge in the 71. Put Ragster to second. McFarlane loves this, to see these guys squabbling already. It's a car length between Ragster and Wetz, and if there's something you don't do, and back me up on this, Cody, don't give Chris Wetz a nudge, because he'll pay it back by a bit and then some.
Oh, yeah, he definitely plays the eye for the eye situation. See what's nope.
Into the tires, we jinx him, and around he goes in the 71. The man from Texas, third all-time on the wins list, will have to go to the semifinal here in Barcelona. See if we have any jokers on this first lap. McFarlane leads over Ragster, Grove, Peterson, and Wetz. No joker for the top 2. Will Grove do something different? He doesn't. No jokers for the top 4. I have to agree. I would do, I mean, we say it every week, though. I would do something different compared to these guys. Not just follow each other home. You never know with the clear track. You got the rabbit to chase. So you're right on board Peterson in the 59. Into the tires. Commentators curse again. Bryan, we can't go on board anybody. That's just the final word.
We can't go on board. We can't talk. Nothing.
Like, can we just mute and just listen to the cars going around the track? Welcome to NASS on ASN, everybody. It's been like this for the last 11 years. McFarland leads at the end of the second lap. No joker for him. Ragster does not joker. Grove, the blue plate holder, sportsman points leader, does joker in the 472. Something to note, as McFarland goes fastest, 41.6, McFarland has not won a race. Ragster has not won a race. Grove won sportsman in Knockhill. And it's been since NASCAR 2003 in 2018 since Chris Wetz has won a race in NASA Rallycross. Russell Peterson has not won a race either. So McFarland 7/10 up on Rags for that last lap.
And McFarland putting on an absolute clinic here. Just walking away slowly.
As just for confirmation, it was 2018 Milwaukee that Chris Wetz last won a race. Put it in perspective, this is race number 240, I think. It's been since race number 116 since Chris Wetz has won a race in NASA Rallycross. Halfway home in heat number 2, cross flags were displayed. Words are still hard. Last lap for McFarland in the 04. He has not taken the joker yet for KES Racing. And if I was him in this specific scenario, just wait until the checkered flag, because there is no pressure from behind from Ragster in the 91. Grove looking good for a pole position for the semifinal, or an outside pole for the semifinal. We'll just have to wait and see how that happens. As McFarland, Ragster, Grove, Wetz, Peterson, the running order. Just some confirmation for those of you that are curious. We are not racing at Mount Washington next week, as Justin Robichaux disconnected, I believe, potentially maybe in a family emergency with the newborn. Potentially, pure speculation, but I don't suspect that Justin would disconnect randomly unless he's just not a fan of how he's driving. So Robichaux out tentatively unless he reconnects. White flag for McFarland in the 04. Last lap is a 45.7 for the man from California. Teammate Robbie Larill not here, so he's flying the flag for KES Racing this evening. Third gear through the dirt, feather the throttle, don't even go to fourth, clip the curb to get the car to rotate. Getting the car back going in third gear, that's interesting. I would have thought second, but he's quicker than me. Rounding the final dirt section, same as the light car, you want to feather the throttle in third gear, stay close to the wall, fourth at the curb, left, flick it right before you jump to hit the curb on the right. And final corner for Evan McFarland. Outside pole for the Spanish Grand Prix. Sabian Ragster will transfer. And it looks like, as, forgive me, I have to disqualify Russell Peterson. He took 2 jokers. So, Matt Grove and Chris Wetz. Confirmation of those results: McFarland, Ragster, Grove, Wetz, Peterson. Peterson disqualified this evening.
Remember, everybody, 1 joker.
As hopefully I don't miss this start. Give me 2 seconds.
As Alex Abetti's, I was gonna read it off. We're good.
Jokers as well. That was the reasoning.
So, heat number 3. In Spain, Abeti, Angie, Okenhaug, Crosgrove, and Robichaux. Glad I fixed that. There was no way I was going to make a 4th session. Heat 3 in Spain. Green flag. The 2 Pudgy's cars. Good start off the line compared to Okenhaug and Crosgrove. Down to the first corner. Okenhaug nudges Angie, sends him wide, takes the spot. Abeti lead. Angie gives it right back, pushes Okenhaug wide in the 26. Sneaking into the picture was Crosgrove in the 18. In the back of the field, Jake Robichaux. Remember, no jokers off the start. And Abeti loves this. And this is going to be another battle for the transfer spot, I think, Cody. 26 of Magnus versus the 7 of Angie. Down to the middle sector, down to the final sector. Magnus misses the corner by a mile. Claws it back. He's going to run it too wide into the tire barrier, but he holds the spot. Car length between them.
Yeah, Magnus definitely sent the message to Angie. There's contact racing is allowed in this heat race, it looks like. So these two are definitely going to be banging doors here.
as Abedi still leads. It might be a hornet's nest for this transfer spot between Magnus, Angie, and Crosgrove. Crosgrove looking good in the 18 for Slapex Racing, the man from Ontario, Canada. No jokers for anybody, and Crosgrove on 2 wheels. Abedi, 2.5 seconds ahead of... It was his teammate. My timing's broken. He's only a second ahead of Magnus in the 26. Angie, Crosgrove, Jake Robichaux in the 69 in the back of the field. We'll have to take a look here, Cody, and see if there's going to be any joker rotation. But I don't know if anybody's going to have anything for Abedi here in the 99. But watch as I say that. Potentially commentators cursed, or Magnus has some pace. We'll just have to wait and see. No joker for Abedi. No joker for Magnus. No joker for Angie. Crosgrove pulls the pin and takes the joker on lap 2.
I think that was a smart move on Crosgrove. It seemed like Angie was holding him up, so smart move. Let's see if it works out to his benefit as he runs it slightly into the gravel.
So despite blowing the corner, actually that was the previous lap, my apologies there, Magnus was fastest of all that last lap, 0.3 up on Abedi, so maybe I spoke too soon, as he was 0.6 of a second faster than Angie. Crucially though, faster than, as Jake Robichaux in the back of the field spins in the 69, faster than Abedi was Okenhaug in the 26.
As Abedi goes to joker.
Where will he come out in relation to Crosgrove? Holds the spot over his teammate and Crosgrove. No contest for the tie driver in the 99, former champion of the series.
So now, whatever Magnus can do just to run away and give himself just enough delta so when they're coming to the line, well, probably the smart thing is to come to the line with taking the joker. This way he gets the run.
Cross flags halfway home in heat number 3. And I'd have to agree, you have to immediately defend now. You can't wait until the last lap. You joker now, cover it, take the line. He doesn't do it in the 26. Okay, 42-2, 42-0 for Abedi. Jokering is Angie. He gets passed by Crosgrove in the 18. Magnus still leads ahead of Abedi. Will we see a joker on the penultimate lap from the Norwegian in the 26? Or will Abedi, the tie driver, take the lead? Last lap, 42-2, 42-0 for Abedi. 42-8 for Crosgrove, 46-5 for Angie. We ride on board Magnus in the 26. He does take the joker now, but I think it was a lap too late, unless he knows something we don't. Exiting the joker, no contest. He'll have more speed coming down the straightaway, way into the sand track limits for Magnus in the 26. That might be a slowdown, and if not, I'm not too pleased about that, especially because it's my car, as he's trying so hard to take this spot from Abedi here, Cody.
Yeah, he's trying to get that couple out better starting spot in the feature, as this is probably one of the most important tracks that we have where starting position is a major factor.
They are, I would say they're all really hard to pass on, but this one especially, just with the nature of it having one lane.
I click
Final
over
corner, real
Jake
quick.
Barrel rolling.
Final corner, Abedi wins. Ahead of Magnus, who transfers. Best of the rest, Crosgrove, Angie, and the barrel rolling Jake Robichaux.
Although we did see from the last heat race that you can't pass around the outside like Wetz did.
As, forgive me, I'm taking a quick look, making sure that nobody else took 2 jokers and broke something, as I'm really not going to have a fun time if they took more than 1 joker. Russell Peterson did take the 2 jokers erroneously, and I don't think that anybody else did. Let's take a look here.
We're good.
Think we're all good. So our 4th and final heat of the evening grid is Matt Hartley, Cody Winecki, Benjamin Gay,
1 joker, everybody. 1 joker.
Eric Dubois, and Robbie Kirtley. And you think it's annoying to hear Matthew Grove saying this every single race, but people still don't get it right. Welcome to NASA Rallycross. Another JC Simsport car in this race. Benjamin Gay, a privateer. Cody Winecki, a privateer. Eric Dubois, a privateer. And we do have that 5th car, Robbie Kirtley. privateer as well. Technically, Dubois and Kirtley are teammates on Zeem's setup shop, but they are running different manufacturers. Currently not on track yet in the 024.
Is this your first time commentating cars you own that you're not driving?
Yes. It's not third person. Yes. It's kind of odd this season. Getting ready for Heat 4 in Spain. Green flag. Off the line. Hartley gets a good start compared to Wienecke. Down to the first corner. Wienecke turns in. Nearly contact between them. Gay goes side by side with him. Gay takes the spot. The Sportsman winner from last week in the 53 clipped the curb. It sent him driver's left. Wienecke goes to the inside and tries to take the spot. Will the Ford power off the corner? Wienecke closes the door and contact between them. The 903 and the 53. Sideways is Wienecke in the 903. Will they joker on the start? No. Wienecke runs it wide in the 903. Put him to the back. Dubois misses the corner. Nearly contact again. And Hartley loves this, Cody. Out and away by 2 seconds, let's call it, over Benjamin Gay in the 53.
Yeah, Hartley just got through the crazy turn one, first couple corners, and now he's just able to check out, run his own race. Now the crazy battle's going to be for P2 in that final transfer spot.
As Benjamin Gay, Sportsman winner last week in Norway for his first win. Eric Dubois in the 034. Wienecke in the 903. And Robbie Kirtley in the 024. All these Sportsman guys trying to get a spot in the feature because they would be tentatively the only Sportsman car in the race so far. We might run into a situation like Norway last week. Kirtley jokered in the 024. Let's see who else. Dubois did. Hartley, Gay, and Wienecke did not. So last week, Benjamin Gay was the only Sportsman car in the feature race. So that's what these guys are racing for. And Benjamin Gay showing impressive pace in the 53.
Yeah, putting on really good lap times in that Ford Fiesta. Holding off the two Subarus of Eric and Cody.
And Matthew Hartley for JC Simsport. We talked about JC Simsport before, the rebranding of MRT, former Constructors Champions, winning his team in the series, and Hartley, former champion in 2020A. Benjamin Gay jokers, Wienecke jokers. Dubois already took his joker, and he takes the spot from Wienecke in the 903. So the joker rotations have unraveled for the Sportsman cars, and the order has not changed. Wienecke and Dubois, this is going to be a good battle, remember, for the best of the rest spot, best gridding for the semifinal. And if I'm Hartley, I joker immediately, even though you've got a decent gap on Gay in the 53. Coming across flags for the Australian in car number 50. Trying to join his teammate in the feature race. 42.2 for Hartley that last lap. Let's take a look and compare to the Sportsman cars. He goes purple across all three sectors. 42.5, wow. 42.5 for Benjamin Gay. 42.9 for Eric Dubois. 42.3 for Cody Wienecke. These guys showing pace here, Cody.
Yeah, Wienecke's got a ton of pace. He makes these mistakes occasionally that really sets him back. If you can just limit those and not make those mistakes, you'd be as... He ends it in
Speaking of mistakes, into the tires goes Wienecke. Robbie Kirtley over the curb in turn 5. And Hartley jokers in the 50. No contest for the race lead. 2 laps to go for the Australian, former champion of the series. And he does have 2 wins in the championship. It's been quite some time since he won, but he does know how to get the job done in the 50 car. Still impressive run for Benjamin Gay here, Cody, in the 53.
Yeah, running really consistent lap times, too. Back to his 42.5 up with a 42.9, so nice consistent laps. Just kind of hit his marks. Nothing too wild here.
We can ride on board here, Bryan, for just this final lap with Matt Hartley in the 50. Gonna ride on board, take a lap, and take a drink of water, and then we'll come back. All right, I might have lied to you. It was like half a lap. But I'm interested. Just kidding. I might have to drink more water. But curious to see him in 5th gear in turn 2 what would be that turn 12, the off-camber corner. I was shifting down to third in the Subaru, but maybe that's why I was super slow in the supercars. I digress either way. Matt Hartley off the final corner. He will win heat number 4 comfortably, but Benjamin Gay makes another feature in NASA Rallycross in the 53. As best of the rest, Eric Dubois, Winecki, and Kirtley.
With you saying that about the gearing, it's one thing I noticed that like everyone's setups are so different, and especially like the gear ratios. So you may drive one setup and be in totally different corners or totally different gears in certain corners than the others.
Semi-final A this evening here in Barcelona. Jess Rakowski, Cody Crosgrove, Matthew Morris, Steve Angie, and apparently Justin Robichaux is still registered in the session, but he is not on track. He's still disconnected in the 93, so we'll have 4 cars dueling for 1 spot in the feature. And Cody Crosgrove sitting 8th in points, Steve Angie sitting 6th in points, as Jess Rakowski sitting down the order in 15th in points. So some top 10 runners here. Potentially, one of them is not going to make this show here in Spain. 5 laps, Joker once. Green flag. Angie gets a better start compared to both of them down to the first corner, but it's such a short run. Rakowski into the wall, and the 999 comes across into Crosgrove. What a move in the 18. I thought that was going to be contact. Rakowski gives him 1 nudge, gives him a 2nd nudge. Angie says, thanks for opening the door. I'll slide right in, but contact nearly between the 3 cars. Angie gets turned from Matthew Morris in the 24. And one of the slices of pizza will be out of the feature race. The man from New York in the back of the field. Crosgrove leads ahead of Rakowski, ahead of Morris. Riding on board, the driver from Maryland in the 999, misses the apex quite a bit. Clawed it right back. Morris snuck in. Morris into the tires in the 24. So if Rakowski can hang on to Crosgrove here, this is going to be a good battle, Cody.
Because just by attrition, this has pretty much become a 2-horse race here. Let's see if Rakowski's got the pace to keep up with Crosgrove. Crosgrove's been super quick. That we saw just one mistake kind of cost him possibly the feature. So let's see if he can redeem himself here.
Rakowski Jokers on the first lap of asking. And I say that saying, you said that it's basically a 2-horse race. We saw, what was it, Knock Hill, where everybody crashed, or was it Brands Hatch? Everybody crashed, and then crashed again, and then they're all on top of each other for a transfer. Morris takes the spot back from Angie, who did not joker, I should say, in the 7. Morris way out wide in the 24, and he gives him the spot.
Yes. Rakowski's got a decent gap now behind Crosgrove, so as long as Crosgrove just runs a nice solid race here, he should be able to make it into the feature.
And what's crucial with this would be another overall car, not a sportsman car, making the feature, and it helps Benjamin Gay's case yet again. Crosgrove Jokers easily holds the spot over Rakowski in the 999. Rakowski purple, 42.489, fastest of all. As Crosgrove 46.4 on his second lap. We'll wait and see when the lap times run through. Crosgrove leads over Rakowski over Angie. Angie has not jokered, and Morris has jokered in the 24. 2 laps to go for Crosgrove in the 18 for Slapex Racing. 41.9 to a 43.5. Fastest of all, Cody Crosgrove, 41.953.
As Angie is the last to take his joker, so now everyone's done their strategy, so now it's just straight up racing here to the checkered flag.
Lap and a half to go for Cody Crosgrove, trying to make it into the feature and help his team in the team's championship. They are sitting in second behind Pudgy's, and this is crucial because Pudgy's will have Alex and Savian, but they won't have that third car. And while only 2 score points, it's still a third car gives you a better chance of scoring points. Crosgrove will take the white flag in the 18. Rakowski still in second.
Couple tenths faster that last lap, but unfortunately not enough time.
As anything can happen, we talked about it for the last 11 years. Clips the curb in the 18, does Cosgrove. Through 4, through 5. Down the Grand Prix circuit for just a bit. Into turn number 6, into the dirt. So easy to run this corner wide because you think the dirt can support you. It can't. It's off camber. Over the jump. And coming to the checkered flag, Cody Cosgrove will be our 9th seed this evening here in Barcelona. Best of the rest finishing 11th will be Rakowski. 13th overall
Good try.
will be Morris. And then Angie
Good race, Chad.
and Robichaux.
Good race, Chad.
Once we get rolling, these races go quick, Cody.
Absolutely. As Angie,
luck,
rough
everybody.
points day for him, so maybe using that as his drop week.
Good luck.
As no drop week anymore
Oh,
now that
okay.
Washington's gone. So grid for the second semifinal: Grove, Dubois, Wetz, Winecki, Robichaux, Kirtley. So one of these guys will make the feature and challenge Benjamin Gay, but it's a matter of who it will be in this 5-lap Joker once semifinal. 10th and final seed to be decided in the next 5 laps here in Barcelona. Green flag. Wetz gets a great start in the first phase, but sputtered out in the second. Down to the first corner. Dubois holds the lead. Wetz gets turned by Robichaux. He gets straightened out, I should say. Winecki got ping-ponged off of Robichaux and Wetz, and down to the corner. Into the dirt for the first time. Grove leads Dubois, leads Robichaux. Kirtley checks Wetz out of the way in the 71. And this is what Matt Grove wants to see. Blue plate holder still has a comfortable lead over Benjamin Gay, but of course, you want to still hold that points lead as we begin the first lap here in Barcelona. As Dubois trying to take the spot. And Bryan said to clear Cody's penalty off monitor, and I did. It said the player's not serving a penalty. So we'll have to see what it does. Dubois pushing so hard in the 034. He knows what's at stake here, Cody, to try and make a feature.
Yeah, and just to give you a little insight as I'm looking at the points here, if Grove does not make this feature, we will either have a tie or a new sportsman leader. So
Dubois
Grove
Jokers.
has to make this.
Dubois Jokers in the 034. And there's some buffer between him and Dubois now. His teammate Jake Robichaux in the 69. We remember team orders used to be banned in the championship. Now they are not. I trust that Grove wouldn't do that. Robichaux into the wall in the 69. Clears the track. Dubois into the tires. Contact between them. I swear that wasn't my idea. Wasn't scripted. Wasn't my idea. As Eric Dubois turned off the front / the side of Jake Robichaux's car in the 69. So you were talking about Matt Grove not making this feature potentially. He's got a pretty decent lead now.
Yeah, as Grove takes and Robichaux takes the Joker here, along with Winecki.
As
That's a
Dubois
weapon.
already jokered. Dubois in the back of the field. Kirtley in the back of the field in 6th. So let's get a running order reset here. Coming at 2 laps to go. Matt Grove, Chris Wetz, Jake Robichaux, Cody Winecki, Eric Dubois, and Robbie Kirtley.
And everyone has taken their Joker, so straight heads-up racing from here on out.
As looking through the field off monitor, Kirtley has spun in the dirt chicane. Just trying to ensure nobody takes a second Joker just so I can be quick to disqualify, as we missed that when Francois did that. So I've told myself to pay more attention, as I promise I know what I'm doing. 2 laps to go for Matthew Grove. Goes fastest, 43.073 for the man from Pennsylvania. Ahead of Chris Wetz from Texas, Jake Robichaux from New Brunswick, Cody Winecki from Arizona, Dubois from Maine, and Kirtley from Virginia. So I hope I got all those right. Jake Robichaux in the 69 off the track. Looks like he clipped the curb there, Cody, and that's so hard to get right and get wrong. You clip the curb wrong by just a bit, it'll spit the car to the right.
As it just looked like the car did not want to do the weight transfer and just kept sliding to the right when the corner goes left.
White flag for Matthew Grove in the 472, ahead of Chris Wetz in the 71, ahead of Cody Wienecke in the 903. Dubois spins in the 034 in front of Jake Robichaux. They make contact. And Dubois and Robichaux are glued together in this semifinal. But Matthew Grove loves this. We talked about him having a battle. I'm liking the battle that's happening between Grove and Gay here in the last couple weeks. We are going to have a sportsman battle in the Spanish Grand Prix. Matt Grove wins the semifinal, and he is our 10th and final seed. Man from Texas, Chris Wetz, 12th. 14th will be Robichaux. 16th will be Wienecke. 18th Dubois, and 20th Robbie Kirtley, as we just await all these guys to finish up. So I don't think that's what you expected there, Cody.
In a way, that was one of the options that I expected. Now we're going to see if Grove can grow his point lead over Benjamin Gay, or if it's going to shrink down to 3. It's pretty much our two options coming into the sportsman, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one for the feature.
Qualifying is over. The feature race in Spain is next.
Good luck, everybody. Thank you for
You're
having me.
so interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to nordvpn.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Side nearly 3 wide of Matt and Palacio. Front bumper of Betty down to turn 2. Clog takes the lead. The Real still has him jokered inside. Clog on McKenna. Contact between them. We welcome you back to round 240 of the championship overall and round 4 of the 28th season of the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge here in Barcelona, Spain, with Bryan Sawyer in the production truck, 2-time series champion Cody Erdmann next to me in the commentary box. My name is Josh Mertz, live on the Automotive Sports Network. Just a reminder, our series is brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problem is our solution. For more information, visit osscenter.com. We thank you so much to Rob Hartland for your continued support of NASA Sim Racing. Our coverage tonight also brought to you by NordVPN. For up to 63% off a 2-year plan, visit nordvpn.com/ASNTVUSA. Finally, our cameras for the entire season are provided by TrackCams22.com. This is going to be a spicy race, Cody. Eight overall cars, 2 sportsman cars. Benjamin Gay and Matt Grove racing for that sub-championship. And taking a look at the grid, Martell, McFarlane, Betty Hartley, Clog, Ragster. It's a good time to be in NASA Rallycross because this field stacked. This is going to be a great race.
Yes. Turn 1 of this initial start is going to be probably one of the most important corners of the whole race. If they can get through clean, whoever comes out first will have a good chance of winning this feature. So I know it sounds cliche, but this corner is super hard and it's super easy for the inside car to blow it, and like row 2 or row 3 could sneak in, and then as long as they can just run a nice clean smooth race, how narrow some of this track is, like you said, it's kind of like a street circuit in sections, so how narrow and tight it is, it's super hard to get by. So as long as you can run a nice smooth race, get out front early, we'll have a good points day.
Give me 2 seconds. I have to go yell at my team car for running off the track. I don't want him to abuse track limits like the team owner would. So give me 2 seconds.
Get a couple laps in here before the feature.
I'm back. I'm doing 12 things at once, like normal, and just super excited as we thank everyone for being here on the Automotive Sports Network. Just a couple programming notes before we get rolling. We do have round 1 of the Woven by Toyota NASA Sports Car Challenge. It's going to be this Thursday, July 13th. So excited to have that series begin. We're going to be in Tsukuba, Japan. That'll be myself, Justin Robichaux, Bryan, Sawyer, 13th of July on ASN Live. The 4th round of the NASA Rallycross Lights was here yesterday in Barcelona. You'll catch that coverage on ASN On Demand on Friday, July 14th. And next week, the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge will continue for round 5 of the championship in Hampton, Georgia at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. They'll join myself, Cody Erdmann, Bryan Sawyer, and hopefully Philip Kraus. As we're missing you, Phil, hopefully you're racing the Dallara IR01. Words are hard. Hopefully that's going well for you, as that's why we are missing the 5-time series champion. As I know I do predictions, and then you guys end up asking me. So I'll go first. Francois was quick in qualifying. Obviously, he's on pole position. We know how quick McFarlane is. I think it's going to be a duel between those two, Cody.
I'm going to come out of left field on this one because I have a gut feeling turn 1 is going to be an utter chaotic mess. And you're going to like this pick. I want to say Matt Hartley. He's been kind of knocking on the door lately, I feel like. He's kind of getting his feet back under him here. And I could see him pulling off an upset.
As it has been since 2021C Daytona, nearly 40 races ago, that he has won over 30 races, 34 if I got that number correct. So it's been over 3 seasons since the Australian has won in NASA Rallycross. So I like it. I'll try not to be biased because he's my car, but I really like that call. Looking at Josh Clog in the 199, defending champion of the NASA Rallycross Challenge. He has not won this season, I don't believe, as it was Martell, Abedi, and Martell the first 3 rounds of the championship. Always something different that happens here in NASA Rallycross, and we say it almost as a meme at this point that anything happens, but it truly does. So I don't doubt that turn 1's going to be crazy, as we just thank everyone for joining us here on ASN. As just finishing touches in the warm-up session. Currently in warm-up, wow, Magnus is P1 at a 40.730, Evan 40.9, Hartley 41.3, Martell 42.1 for the French-Canadian. As we ride on board Magnus right behind McFarlane in the 04. As this turn one, so tricky to get right with the walls on both sides, with the short run, and with the supercars, you are start up to probably third or maybe even fourth, depending on the setup, and I could be completely off base there, but you're through the gears fairly quickly. A lot of wheel spin, so much power in these cars, and then you're hitting the brakes and hoping that you make the corner. And we've seen chaos in the past features here in Barcelona. Cars going everywhere, and just over a minute until we begin gridding here in Barcelona.
There's a little bit of a quick points update here. Francois Martel actually jumped Magnus in points now with his heat win. So now he's 15 behind a Betty, and Magnus is 16. And then Hartley is 21 behind, and Ragster is 22 behind. So that's our top 5 and where we're sitting. So second through fifth, unless a Betty has some wild night, second through fifth could get really jumbled up here.
Magnus still sitting P1. That lap time has not changed. I would say that this track is pretty much ran. I'm going to keep an eye all feature with this sportsman sportsman battle between Grove and Benjamin Gay, but Grove, they're 4/10 down on Gay through warm-up. So we just have to wait and see. In the overall points, Benjamin Gay sits 12th. Matthew Grove sits 9th. It is an 8-point gap, so Matthew Grove could lose this race and still have a points lead. So I guess that's the silver lining for him in the 472. Warm-up just about over, and we are getting ready to grid for the 240th round of the NASA Rallycross Challenge.
Fun little factor on the sportsman cars, both in Fords, not the overpopulated Subarus. So
Good luck.
The grid for the Spanish Grand Prix looks...
Good luck, everybody. Remember, we do 2 jokers in the feature race. 2 jokers.
Looks a little bit like this. Francois Martel and Evan McFarlane on the front row. Then it's Alex Abetti and Matt Hartley. Josh Klug and Sabian Ragster. Magnus Okenhaug and Benjamin Gay. Cody Crosgrove and Matthew Grove. 10 cars, 10 laps, 2 jokers, and anything can happen here in Barcelona. Thanks for joining us on ASN as we get ready in Spain. We go green in Barcelona. Off the line, Martel gets a good start compared to McFarlane. Down to the first corner. Abetti gives him an edge. He gives McFarlane an edge as well. Through the first corner. Clark sideways. Saves it. 3 wide with Magnus. With Hartley. McFarlane cleared him. Into the dirt for the first time. Martel runs it wide. Abetti goes to the inside. McFarlane goes to the inside of Clark. Nearly contact. They're side by side over the jump. McFarlane. Oh, he's into the back of the field behind as Hartley gets turned off the front bumper of Ragster in the 50 into the 91. Chokering on the first lap is Crosgrove, and that is a penalty for the 18. Side by side, McFarlane and Okenhaug. Okenhaug way out wide in the 26, misses the corner, tries to catch it back for the dirt. He's going to completely blow that corner, and to the inside goes Ragster. He thought better of it. Will Clog send it on Abetti in the 99? He won't. Back to the asphalt. On the first lap, back to the dirt. I think Crosgrove will get a penalty from the sim. Grove and Hartley battling. Grove nearly gets nudged. He's battling Gay. Gay makes contact, Grove does, and Hartley into the wall in the 50. Will they joke on the first lap? McFarlane does. Martel leads at the end of the first lap, Cody. What a first lap. You were not wrong here in Spain.
Is unfortunately my pick, and I'm sorry for my curse, as Hartley got turned there just by the absolute chaos going through that pretty much alley section. Clog bouncing off the tire barriers in P3. So top 3 have checked out a little bit over P4, which is now Ragster. McFarlane into P5 as he jokered. So
as Crosgrove with the incorrect joker, he's going to immediately finish 10th. That'll be whatever penalty the sim gives him. And now it's a battle just like Norway last week. Francois Martel and Alex Abetti, but this track doesn't have any tricky curbs like hell does. It just has that tricky chicane at the back half of the field. Martel goes purple, 41.736 for the French-Canadian. And I suspect that McFarlane might push really hard to try and gain some time back. Keeping an eye on the sportsman cars. Benjamin Gay way up the road compared to Matthew Grove. Hartley still pushing hard in the 50, trying to make this time back up. and Martel, second and a half ahead of Abetti here, Cody.
As McFarland ran both of his jokers already, so now he's got just to worry about the fast track. This is kind of the strategy I always pulled. They usually work. When the jokers are longer, if you take them and get a nice clear track, then you can just get in a rhythm with a nice faster regular course, and then you just start picking guys off, and then you end up in the lead. So let's see if it works.
Exactly what would happen in NASCAR 2003 at St. Eustache is one of the tracks in Canada. You take the joker, it's a longer lap, and then you have the rabbit to chase in front of you of all those cars that still have to joker. As maybe that's why we came together so many times at that track. But either way, Martel still leads ahead of Abetti, ahead of Clog, ahead of Ragster. Those cars have not taken any jokers. Remember, 2 jokers in the feature in NASA Rallycross. McFarland has taken both of them. So has Magnus. Grove has 1 left. Grove has gotten by Benjamin Gay, but Gay has taken both of his jokers in the 53. Hartley has taken both of his jokers in the 50 as well, and Crosgrove will get a penalty from the sim. Unfortunately, he's pretty doomed to the 10th spot in the 18. Abetti, last lap, was equal on lap time compared to Martel. Martel ran a 42.2 2 laps in a row. Abetti into the tires in the 99, and Clog hounding them in the 199 if anything goes wrong. Really, Ragster's there too. This top 4 under a blanket.
As McFarland is slowly reeling them in as well, so it may be working. So we'll have to see as the top 4 is not jokered yet.
Put it to you this way, Cody. 41.0 for McFarland, and then a 42.0 for McFarland. He was a second faster than these two, and this is what we talked about. You get the clear track. Ragster still has to joker, so McFarland is just going to pick these guys off. His last lap, he was faster than everyone except for Martel at a 41.926 for the 12 car. Abetti into the tires again in the 99.
As McFarland another half a second up on the whole leaders in front of him. Once these guys start jokering, he's just going to get unleashed and just run away from the field.
We already took halfway home, cross flag, lap number 6. Coming to 7 for 4 laps to go here in the Spanish Grand Prix for NASA Rallycross. Martel, I feel like these guys are going to joker on the last couple laps of the race. Clog takes the joker in the 199, defending champion. And McFarland's going to pip him, but will Clog have the run off the corner? He does! For a moment, runs it wide, stays within track limits, and he holds the spot. He still has a joker left. McFarland does not. McFarland peeks to the inside, and the 04 clips the curb. And this is good news for McFarland because he knows that he's going to dispatch these guys. Crosgrove stays out of the way of the race leaders.
McFarland caught a little bit of tire barrier. This is where you really got to be patient.
Clog way out wide in the 199 as we ride on board McFarland in the 04. Wonderful camera work from Bryan Sawyer in the production truck as we take a look at McFarland trying to get by these cars into the wall again. Clog and Ragster joker put McFarland to 3rd.
He was a 42.9 that last time. Abetti was a 42.4, and Martel was a 42.4, or 42.2, sorry. So a little bit slowing him down there, getting stuck in traffic, but now he should be able to have a nice clear track, as I believe the leaders will have to joker these last 2 laps.
They will. Crosgrove stayed out of the way, got blue flags for the race leaders. They will have to joker. Take a look at the sportsman battle. Matt Grove still leads. He still has to joker, but he still holds the lead over Benjamin Gay. Jokering is Martel and Abetti. They come out ahead of McFarland, but just barely as we take 2 laps to go. This race isn't over. Grove still holds the lead. When will he joker in the 472? Benjamin Gay might be looking for 2 in a row. Clog and Magnus going to be battling for, it looks like, the 5th spot. Magnus took his jokers early in the 26. Crosgrove stays out of the way again in the 18. We're coming to the white flag here in Barcelona. And will Francois Martel make it 3 out of 4? We have 1 lap to go. He takes the joker. So does Abetti. Where is McFarland? McFarland will get by Abetti, but he doesn't get by Martel. White flag.
Because Abetti's still too far behind to use that run out of the joker. So McFarland has a good gap here. Looks like he'll have
battle for 4th. Magnus has slid it off the road trying to catch Clog in the 199. Grove has not taken his second Joker yet. As we go back up front, Francois Martel. What could have been if he didn't have an issue in Brands Hatch. But he's going to come off the final corner, and he will win yet again in the NASA Rallycross Challenge. Win number 10 for the French-Canadian, tied with Sindre Silva ahead of Evan McFarlane and Abedi. At the line, Klog holds the spot over Magnus, Ragster, Hartley, as we go back to the sportsman battle. Grove still has a Joker left. This should pretty much be sealed for Benjamin Gay. Jokering as Grove. 2 consecutive wins in the Sportsman Cup for Benjamin Gay ahead of Matthew Grove in 9th. And rounding out the order, Cody Crossgrove in 10th. What a race in Barcelona.
Is our old...
Before the start for each one.
This confirmation of those results. A reminder of the semi-final. Rakowski was 11th, 13th Morris, 15th Angie, 17th Robichaux. Then it was 12th the Wets, 14th Jake Robichaux, 16th Winecki, 18th Dubois, 20th Kirtley.
That might have given you my blue plate.
As we're going to try and bring in...
I don't know, I was relegated to 10th last week.
As we'll bring in first our sportsman winner, Benjamin Gay. Cody Erdmann, all yours.
Hey there, Ben, you got us?
Yeah, I'm here.
First off, congratulations again. The sportsman win 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, thanks.
And you had to go up against your sportsman points rival there, and Matthew Grove, and you two were stuck together like glue, it seemed like. With you being stuck behind him there and he still had a Joker, were you trying to pass him, or did you just kind of ride and wait until he Jokered?
No, I was trying to pass him. It was super fun. I knew that I had it on him, the Joker, so I never went too far. You can see out of like turn, what is it, like at the end, the last loop before the jump. I was side by side, but I lift off, so we never touch because I didn't need to pass him. But yeah, I was pushing.
So these last couple weeks, you found a lot of pace. Got any speed secrets, or are you just kind of putting in a little bit of extra practice to kind of find that a little bit to keep up with these faster guys?
Yeah, I think it's 2 things. I've been practicing, but the first 2 weeks I was on holiday, so I was like doing something else all day. I wasn't really there, so I didn't practice much. I only set up the rig for the races. But yeah, now I'm racing all week, so I think it's going well. Yeah.
Sounds good. Who'd you like to thank to get you your second sportsman win in a row?
Yeah, no one in particular. Thank you guys for the night and for the broadcast. It's super fun. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. We'll look forward to seeing you possibly on the third, on the top step. Wow, words are hard. We're having a fun night up here. Hopefully on the top step of the sportsman podium in Atlanta.
We'll bring in the man.
Hi.
As did you lose my voice, Bryan? Is that what you said?
Did.
As man of the hour, Francois Martel, third win. Did I get that right? Third win out of 4 races. Where is my chart? Yes, 3 out of 4. And if you didn't have the issue in Brands Hatch, you might have reset the record for consecutive wins from the beginning of the season. So I guess walk me through your entire evening. Fastest in seeding when it looked like Evan was fastest, and then you just pulled away.
Yeah, Barcelona is so tough. There's obstacles everywhere. So yeah, I'm glad about the result, of course. But yeah, like the thing is that it's almost like Monaco in real life in Formula One, because if you qualify first, then on the start, the 2 cars behind you are going to fight each other. That's exactly what I was hoping for. And by the way, the rest of the race, I had wheel damage, and I started saving fuel because my spotter said you have like 5 laps of fuel. I was at 5 laps. Stupid spotter. So yeah, well, it's a crazy evening, and yeah, I'm happy to have won regardless.
I got something for you. So, despite the disqualification in Great Britain, unofficially, you're sitting second in points, 7 points behind Alex because of the 3 victories aside from that DQ. So, I guess, what's the mindset going into the second half of the season?
I think it's simply to continue what I've been doing, which is just concentrate on getting some good practice, like being as smooth as possible in every turn. Now I'm really happy because if I didn't get that win, the championship would have been so much more difficult. But right now, my quest to prove that car discrimination doesn't have its place in iRacing goes on.
Cody, you got anything for our race winner before I let him go?
No, just congratulations on getting your 3rd win in four races. Yeah, putting on giving us a good points battles. We've had, I think, in a couple of seasons, we've had a couple of guys just kind of run away with it. So it's nice to have a good points battle with TWR drivers.
Yeah, I'm having fun because of it. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and thank the people of Team Watson Racing. As always, if you go on teamwatsonracing.com, you can find my setups. And big thanks to you guys. You do exceptional work. So see you in the Corolla. Sorry, not the Corolla, but the GR86. That's going to be awesome.
Thank you, my friend. Congrats on the win. We'll see you next week in Atlanta.
Yes, sir.
Man, this series never disappoints. And I joked, well, didn't come off as joking to everyone in the chat, right? Or everyone in the Discord. I said, I don't know why I still do this. I was super stressed because we broke the session 3 separate times. Bryan did it. Cody did it. I did it. And I watch these races and it reminds me of why I keep doing this. And it's awesome. 240 races in the books, 11 years in the books, and it still gets better every single week. We're going to go a couple programming notes, a couple sponsor mentions, final thought from both of us, and we're going to close this show out. So, programming notes on the Automotive Sports Network. This Thursday, the 13th of July, round 1 of the Woven by Toyota NASA Sports Car Challenge will be in Tsukuba in Japan. You'll join myself, Justin Robichaux, Bryan Sawyer for that, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on ASN Live. You'll have round 4 of the NASA Rallycross Lights from here in Barcelona. It took place yesterday. You'll have that delayed coverage on ASN On Demand on Friday the 14th. And then the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge round 5 in Atlanta. You'll have that next Monday the 17th on ASN Live. Just a reminder, our series is brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problem is our solution. For more information, visit osscenter.com. Thank you so much to Rob Hartland for your continued support. Coverage tonight also brought to you by NordVPN for up to 63% off a 2-year plan. Visit nordvpn.com/ASNTVUSA. Cameras for the entire season provided by TrackCams22.com, and our intro music was produced by our very own Alex Abedi. Cody, final thought. We'll get mine. We'll close this out.
Does anyone have anything for Abedi? Because so far the only thing that's had something for him is a DQ. So 3 or 4 races, Atlanta. We'll see if he can repeat again, or we'll see if Martel can bring the fight to him, or Betty can bring the fight to him. My bad. Now it's within 7 points, and Martel had a 0. So looking forward to that. Also, honestly, from Magnus on down too is a really good points battle. So looking forward to that. And Sportsman Cup is heating up as well. So this could be one of the best seasons in NASA. As what number season are we on, my friend?
28, my friend. It's been crazy. We'll go over points as Bryan Sawyer mentioned in my ear. That's probably a good idea. I'll get my final thought before we go over points, so I know it'll look a little ridiculous. But I thoroughly expected McFarland to kind of walk away. I know I kind of talked about back and forth between who it was. I mean, he had a hell of a recovery from being turned in the first corner. Martel skipped away. I think if McFarland we talk about the races being longer. It used to be a 12-lap feature for a couple seasons when Nitro Circus was involved. I think if it was 12 laps, McFarlane would have gotten him. It was only 1.6 seconds. But Betty, Klog, Okenhaug, what could have been for the JC Simsport guys? I'm going to be biased for a minute with Hartley being turned on the first lap of the race. We'll just have to wait and see on incidents when I take a look at them in the next couple days. But we'll take a look at the Drivers' Championship and the Sportsman Cup exiting Spain. This technically is a little mini unannounced championship, the International Cup. It's basically all for record keeping, so I guess Alex Abedi wins the international trophy again, but he exits Spain with a 7-point lead over Francois Martel. And what could have been? I mean, no one has won 3 races from the beginning of the season, and if it wasn't for that Joker mistake, I think Francois would have swept all of them, which is insane to think about, that no one has won 3 in a row from the beginning in the last 11 years. Not happening this season, but still Francois sitting in second, 7 points down from Alex. Then it's Magnus and Hartley, third and fourth. Good for my bias sake of things. Ragster sits in fifth. And I think Betty and Martel are just a class of their own, and that's not an insult to anybody else. We know Josh Klog, 2-time champion, knows how to get it done, but it's been super inconsistent, been caught up in some incidents. McFarlane been caught up in some incidents. Angie didn't make the feature. Grove, that rounds out the top 10. Sportsman Cup looking very spicy between Matt Grove and Benjamin Gay, coming off of 2 consecutive wins. Benjamin Gay goes up to 2 points, Cody. 2 points is the gap for the Sportsman Cup. I haven't seen that close of a battle in quite some time. And both of those guys showing an incredible amount of pace increase. And incredible's for lack of a word. I cannot come up with a better adjective for these two because they have certainly shown some increase in pace. Teams Championship, I don't have the points. I don't know if you have them, Bryan. We don't have those, but we can assume that Pudgy's is going to be out front in that championship. But the Constructors' Championship, Ford leads by 1 point over Subaru. The checkered flag falls on the evening. From all of us at the Automotive Sports Network, from Philip Kraus, Cody Erdmann, and Bryan Sawyer, my name is Josh Mertz, as we hope you enjoyed today's coverage of the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge tonight from Spain. Congratulations to Francois Martel. Be sure to join us on Thursday for sports cars, Friday for lights, or next Monday for supercars in Atlanta. But until then, so long, everyone.